Howdy folks, and welcome back to Ghost Recon Wildlands. What's going on, Jingles? This isn't Saturday. Well, the whole internet drama that exploded over the weekend kind of robbed you of your casual Saturday video, and since I've now removed myself from the Wargaming Community Contributor Program, and I am going to be diversifying the content of my channel away from just Wargaming products, I felt that it was only fair that you get your casual Saturday video back, even if it means you had to wait till Wednesday to get it. So, we're going to start with a joke.
There's an Air Force colonel and a Delta operator sitting next to each other on a flight out of King Khalid.
Is this the one where the Delta operator skins the Air Force colonel and wears him like a suit?
What? No, different story.
Oh man, I love that one.
Anyway, they're both headed back home after a long deployment. The Delta guy's been out in the desert doing, Delta stuff, and he just wants to rack out for a while. But the Air Force colonel, he's on, like, his 8th espresso, and he's feeling chatty. So the colonel says, "Hey, you want to play a game to pass the time? It's a great game, you'll love it. Here's how it works. I ask you a question. If you can't answer it, you pay me $5. Then you get to ask me a question. If I can't answer it, I pay you $500. The Delta guy sighs and thinks it over. Go ahead, he says. The colonel grins, What's the distance between Earth and Neptune, he says. The Delta operator thinks a minute. Finally, he frowns and reaches into his pocket and hands over $5. The Air Force guy, he grins. He figures he's going to take this Delta guy for all he's worth. Your turn. The operator looks him in the eye. He says, "What goes up a hill on 4 legs but comes down again on 3?" Then he lowers his head and he goes back to sleep. The colonel thinks and thinks. He gets out his smartphone and scours the internet for answers, but he can't find it. He calls up his buddies back in Saudi and asks them for help, but they can't find the answer either. Finally, the colonel admits defeat, pulls out $500, wakes up the Delta guy, and hands the money over. The operator pockets the money without a word and closes his eyes again. But the colonel just can't let it go. He wakes the Delta guy up. He says, "I gotta know. What goes up a hill on 4 legs but comes down again on 3? The Delta guy stares at the colonel for a second. Then he reaches in his pocket, hands the colonel $5, and goes back to sleep.
Now, come on, that was a good one. Although I have to admit, and I suspect I'm not alone, given how many times I look through the comments of all of my videos and see the kind of comment that begins with "actually Jingles." But I had a bit of an "actually Jingles" moment there myself when the Air Force colonel turned around at the Delta operator and said, "What's the distance between the Earth and Neptune? Because it's never the same, is it? Depends entirely on where the Earth and Neptune are in their respective orbits at any given time. They're never the same distance apart." But it was a good joke, so I don't care. Right, so anyway, where were we? Oh, that's right, El Chido, the wanker, pop star, gangster wannabe. He thinks he's a badass because he hangs around with drug dealers. We're going to mess his shit up, and we're going to mess it up, but good.
This document gives the route and the schedule of the convoy that's delivering El Chido's car here in Bolivia. Let's move.
Oh, I get to mess with the guy's car. Oh, well, it's not the same as messing with his face, but it's a start. I'll take it.
El Chido's trademark car is being delivered to Umamarca. Let's grab the little fucker's ride and wreck his street cred. See how that plays with his fans.
Alright, I take back everything I said about Bowman in the previous Ghost Recon... Well, actually, more about the previous Ghost Recon Wildlands video in a moment, but I take back everything that I said about Bowman when she was gushing like a fangirl all over El Chido in the previous video. She just won my respect back with that statement. But yes, back to the last Ghost Recon Wildlands video that I did before this whole scandal with Wargaming erupted. It just occurred to me, I'd never actually realised until right now, but the mission that I did in the previous Ghost Recon Wildlands video was actually called Bad Publicity. Coincidence? Or proof that the Illuminati are out there? You be the judge. And we're coming up on the hateful little twat car any second now. I'm going to have to deal with the escort first, of course, but yeah, shouldn't be too much of a problem. And we boost the car, and, well, frankly, I don't really care what we do with it after that. I have to admit, I was kind of curious, because I don't actually know what El Chido means. So, well, it's not a huge issue, because there was a time when if I didn't know what El Chido meant, it could take days or weeks for me to find out. Because there was no internet around back when I were a kid. But these days there's no excuse for ignorance. You can just look it up on the internet. So I thought, you know what, put my money where my mouth is. Let's go and find out what El Chido means. And it turns out that it translates directly into English as the cool. You know, Mr. Cool. Coolio. I thought I hated him before. But I've just plumbed new depths in my hatred for this hateful little twat face. I mean, seriously? Right, anyway, I need to get moving because I've nearly messed this mission up. We've taken care of the escort, but in doing so, we've trashed our own transportation, and El Chido's driver is putting the pedal to the metal. So, luckily, I didn't completely write off this escort vehicle, and, even better, it's armed with a minigun. But, Jingles, you're supposed to steal El Chido's car, not nuke it. Well, yeah, alright, but that doesn't mean it has to be stolen and delivered in tip-top working order, does it? I am allowed to mess its shit up a little, surely. As long as it's still capable of being driven afterwards.
This is a fucking classic. I can see why El Chido had it shipped down here with him. The number of cars and trucks we've been stealing. Boma must have a huge garage like that somewhere in country.
Maybe she'll let us borrow a pickup truck.
You know, it kind of reminds me of, well, there's a scene in Bad Boys 2 where Will Smith and Martin Lawrence are in hot pursuit of a bad guy and they have to commandeer a vehicle, and some guy's just driven a Chrysler right out of the showroom, and they jump in and take over the car. I think it's actually Dan Marino, the quarterback for the LA Dolphins. But anyway, and it's obvious product placement in the movie, but they're saying, man, this is a real nice car. I like this car. I'm going to get me one of these cars. Not this one, though. I'm going to fuck this one up. And, it's kind of my attitude with El Chido's car. Right, here we go. Bowman said she wanted the vehicle delivered. She didn't say she wanted it delivered intact. There may be a few scratches in it.
Let's head out. One of Bowman's people will pick up the car.
I still feel guilty stealing the man's car. I mean, kidnapping him is one thing, but stealing a guy's car? That's next level shit.
Nice job, Nomad. A couple of explosions and El Chido's shitting bricks. He's scared he's being targeted by a rival cartel, so they moved the concert to a new venue.
What are we talking?
We're talking the highest fucking peak in Malka. Visitors to this heavily defended mountaintop will enjoy its beautiful views, a big-ass statue of Santa Muerte, and the fact that it only has one access road.
That's one way to handle security. You want us to extract him, we grab him as he's leaving.
Too risky. El Chido's gonna DD Mao back to Mexico as soon as the show's over. I'm guessing the best window of opportunity, and it's a small window, is during his concert.
Fuck. Alright. We'll get tickets to the show and we'll see if we can't take El Chido with us when we leave.
Now, it needs to be said that while I am a man, and I can therefore understand Holt's reservations about screwing around with the dude's wheels, well, this is El Chido, so I'm just sorry I didn't also get the opportunity to piss in his beer and fart on his balls. Well, not yet at least. The day is but young. Anything can happen. So, El Chido has moved his concert for security reasons to the top of the highest mountain in Malka province, and there is only one access road, but, well, we're Ghost Recon. Bitch, we operate. It's not like we're the British 14th Army in Burma in 1941, incapable of going anywhere that wasn't within 10 minutes march of a road. Climb the mountain. Anyway, while doing the mountain goat thing, I came across this, which apparently is what passes for a road in Bolivia these days. This is the access road they were talking about. It's so dodgy, not even the alpaca wanted to use it. So, well, anyway, statue of Santa Muerte up ahead. There's the objective. Let's get the drone airborne and see what we can see.
Hostile. He's close to some
I got a
locals.
narco over here.
Where you got him?
Right by that stack of tires.
Yep, security is all over the place. In fact, there's almost more security than there are concert guests. I mean, seriously, when you see how many people have actually turned up to watch this little shitbag sing, there it is. There he is himself. And that is it. That's his audience. Oh, it would be a real shame if El Chido was to accidentally get killed in the crossfire, wouldn't it? Well, it would actually, because I failed the mission and I'd have to do it again. But that's not to say we can't rough him up in the process. There is the question of, well, collateral damage, because that's a lot of security. And they're all standing around the guests. Then again, well, you could make the argument that people with such dubious taste in music don't deserve to live anyway. So fuck 'em. They knew the risks when they bought their tickets. Oh shit, hang on a second. The Mighty Jingles, and the Mighty Jingles lawyers, would like to make it absolutely clear that the Mighty Jingles does not condone the use of or threat of violence against pixels of any shape, colour, creed, religion or musical preference. Violence against pixels is not good, okay? Right, you know, before I get into the shit on that one. It's alright, I think I managed to dodge that particular bullet. Right, anyway, let's get stuck in. Obviously I'm going to try to keep things quiet for as long as I possibly can, but there's just no way you can pull this off as a stealth mission, not with that amount of security. So, it's fairly inevitable that lead is going to start getting flung in both directions. And it's also extremely likely that one of those poor innocent bystander pixels is going to stop one of these virtual bullets at some point during the course of the action. And if that should happen, then I can only express my most sincere condolences to the virtual families of any pixels that get harmed in the execution of this mission. And we have been spotted, and Shitbag is running for his car. Right. Can't afford to let him get away, we need to disable the car. Oh dear, we appear to have wiped out a non-competent pixel. Well, that is a shame. How bad, so sad, you're dad. Anyway, we've stopped El Chido's car, but shit, I am attracting a lot of fire here. Get into cover, get into cover. No, into cover. Well, okay, if you can't get into cover, Jingles, just kill the ones that are shooting at you. There we go. Fantastic. Good stuff. We've taken El Chido's car out. I can't really grab him just yet. The area is still far too hot. Oh shit, if that car explodes with him cowering next to it, he's going to die and we're going to fail this mission. And it's still far too hot for me to... Oh dear, would you look at that? Another... There goes another record sale. Well, that is a shame. Oh, well, the good news is the car burnt out without exploding, so good stuff. I don't want to run into a crossfire here. And again, nobody seems to have a direct line of fire to me. Maybe I can sneak over there. Wait, there's a couple. There's at least some fire coming in this direction. There he is. I'm right next to the hateful little prick. Can I risk grabbing him just yet? He doesn't seem to be in a rush to go anywhere. Holt, what are you doing? Get down. Come on, take him out. Die, will you? Gotcha. Right. Get that guy. Yep. Right, let's get Shitbag. Oh, bugger. Where did he come from? Okay, he's down. And we seem to have thinned out most, if not all, of the security. Hey, shitbird, I'm a big fan. Can I have your autograph?
Chingado! I'm El Chido, culeros! Espabilen! El sueño will chop off your heads and shit down your net holes for this! Shut your trap, hombre. Are you really talking to me like this? You take me from my show, from my fans, you make me walk, and now you abuse me like this? Vete a la verga, güey! El sueño will stick a bazooka up your ass and just leave it there. He won't even shoot it. He'll leave it there because it's uncomfortable for you. You talk a lot about Sueño, man, but he ain't here. It's just us. We own you now, baby. Nobody fucking owns me. I'm El Chido. Yeah, you got your name, pal.
I'll say this for the little cockholster, he sure knows how to talk the talk. But does he know how to walk the walk? Let's find out.
Coming this way. What do you want us to do?
Speed bump! Got to admit, I'm not seeing a huge amount in the way of pursuit. I guess El Chido isn't quite the big cheese he thought he was, huh? How long exactly do you suppose it's going to take before the penny drops and he realises that his big bad gangster friends don't actually give that much of a shit about him? and he starts to cry and whine like the little bitch he is. That's a hell of a long, lonely road we've just driven up, El Chido, and no sign of your big bad gangster friends or any of your hordes of adoring fans. Maybe you should change your Facebook status. Tweet something. See if anybody gives a shit.
¿Qué chingados? ¡Ya valió madres! ¡Aquí están las armas!
Hola, caballero. Such a pleasure to meet you. Would you like a drink?
Is this an arrest? Huerca, because I have not broken any laws. O sea, I perform fiesta songs that are an honest reflection of the lives of working class Mexicanos.
I read that review. Sueño paid for it.
That doesn't mean it's not true.
I love the new video for La Plebe Ada Antorada, by the way. And the DJ El Paso remix is pretty fucking awesome.
No mames! You're a fan! Which song is your favorite? I'll sing it for you, en serio. Then get me the hell out of here.
Abusamos de la Medicina is probably my favorite, but your song Buchones Heridos, the one where the narco gets gunned down in the street, that's the one we'll play at your funeral.
Yes, I know, right? Espérate, what did you say?
I know you're not a cutthroat like these other assholes. You're no Sicario. Did he shoot at you?
No, he's an angel. Not even an unkind word out of this guy.
You're just a performer singing about the Mexican working class experience. Santa Blanca forced you, against your will, to come to Bolivia.
That's right, they forced me. I didn't want to come here. Bolivia.
I can protect you. I can keep that buttery voice out of any nasty CIA black sites. I can keep all the cartels away. I can even get you your car back.
There might be a few bumps in it, though.
But you're gonna have to sing. You need to tell me everything you know about everybody in Santa Blanca.
You better get a pen. And a whole lot of paper.
Yeah, I thought you might say something like that, tough guy.
Ooh, you have made me a very happy lady.
It's a little scary how happy you are. You know that snatching El Chido and stealing his car won't stop the music.
Nothing's stopping that music. But El Chido is gonna inform on every Santa Blanca lieutenant who's ever asked him for an autograph. Once word he's a snitch gets around, and it will get around, his street cred and Santa Blanca's are gonna be in the shitter. This is really an historic moment in Corrido music. I'm fucking proud of you.
We might be the first operators to make music history since Ballad of the Green Berets.
As long as you don't start singing.
So, one nasty little piece of shit taken care of, and that one really did feel good. But there's plenty more like him to come. And the next nasty little piece of shit in my sights is the mouth of Sauron himself, DJ Perico, Santa Blanca's mouthpiece.
DJ Perico, the parrot. His dream in life was to be a mixtape DJ, which essentially means yelling over someone else's song and then charging people for it.
DJ Perico!
Fortunately for the music industry, life got in the way. Corner boy at age 13, crack charge at 14, attempted murder at 15. Rather than do a bid in a gladiator academy, he fled to Mexico. He had a cousin in Santa Blanca, got a job as a sicario, a hitman. However, if Santa Blanca had run his sheet, they'd have seen he'd only attempted murder. Another way of saying he was a fuck-up. Like he missed 2 guys in the front seat of a Wrangler. I mean, how hard is that? It was only a matter of time before he annoyed the shit out of every single member of the cartel and got his corpse thrown back across the border, except El Sueño took a liking to him. Perico amused him. He can't shoot a gun, but he can shoot his mouth off. So,
Good morning, Bolivia!
El Sueño found a role for him. Pirate radio, propaganda. Spread the good word about the coming of Santa Blanca.
It's a beautiful day for cocaine. But hey, what day isn't? A special shout out to my boys in Pucara province, building El Sueño's final finca. But let's not be in too big a hurry, okay, boys?
DJ Perico is El Sueño's pet. Let's give him something new to parrot.
Now, while I'm not prepared to say I hate this guy even more than I hated El Chido, let's just say it's going to be very satisfying to take this little prick down as well. and that will be coming up in the next episode of Ghost Recon Wildlands, which is no longer restricted to just casual Saturdays. Hope you enjoyed today's video. My apologies that you couldn't see it last weekend, and as always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.